walked out there and picked up the fire extinguisher and started to read for instructions, and I didn't see any. I just saw there was some small blueprint on white on one side and small blueprint on the other, and I thought, it must be the kind of thing they operate without instruction. It must be so obvious. Then I noticed where the instructions were, and I pulled out the pin and started doing it. And as soon as I started doing it on the fire, it felt really hot all of a sudden, so I had to back up. And I figured that you're supposed to stand far away from it. But I think because I wasn't standing close enough, it didn't go out, and the fire extinguisher was empty by the time I was finished.
At first I went up to it and with a fire extinguisher, but then I felt heat coming back, so I had to step back from the flame. When I saw that I couldn't control the fire, and that was beyond my control, then fear set in.
Well, I pulled the pin out, squeezed, and I aimed it in the general direction, and when it didn't work, I just figured I'd empty out the whole thing, and once it was empty, there was nothing left I could do. It just kept burning.
Each year, fire and explosions claim nearly 12,000 lives and badly damage more than 1.25 million buildings. Many of these fires, if discovered early enough, might have been handled with portable fire extinguishers. Most public buildings are equipped with fire extinguishers, very often along with other fire protection systems like sprinklers, smoke, and heat detectors. But unlike automatic sprinklers, the effective use of portable fire extinguishers requires know-how on the part of the people who live and work in these buildings. In offices, for instance, it's common to find a pressurized water extinguisher intended for use on ordinary combustibles, like paper, wood, cloth, and rubber, which are referred to as Class A hazards. In a factory, you might find a carbon dioxide extinguisher intended for use on flammable liquid fires or fires involving live electrical equipment. Flammable liquids are referred to as Class B hazards. Live electrical equipment is referred to as a Class C hazard. In the home, the most common extinguisher is the multipurpose ABC dry chemical type, effective on all common fire hazards: ordinary combustibles, flammable liquids, as well as live electrical equipment. To select and use an extinguisher properly, it is helpful to know something about fire. In principle, fire is simple. 3 conditions are necessary for the chemical chain reaction known as fire to take place: the presence of oxygen in the air, fuel, and a source of heat. Together, oxygen, fuel, and heat form a relationship known as the fire triangle. Remove any of the elements of the fire triangle or interfere with the chemical chain reaction, and the fire goes out. For ease of selection, fire extinguishers are identified according to the ABC classification of fire hazards. Class A fires involve ordinary combustibles. The most common extinguisher intended for use exclusively on Class A fires is the pressurized water extinguisher. Using this type of extinguisher is quite simple. Hold the extinguisher upright, pull out the safety pin, and squeeze the lever. Aim the hose at the base of the fire. The water puts out the fire by cooling the fuel, so it is important to soak the fire well, even after it appears to be out. Smoldering embers can cause the fire to flare up again. The water in this 2.5-gallon tank will last for about 60 seconds, although the stream can be stopped and started again. The maximum distance the stream will carry is about 40 feet. As with all extinguishers, the water extinguisher should be recharged immediately after use, no matter how much water may be left in the tank. Class B fires involve flammable liquids, gases, and greases. This is a standard flammable liquid pan fire, used by experts to test extinguishers. Most extinguishers intended for use on flammable liquids are rated for more than one type of fire. This is the multipurpose ABC dry chemical extinguisher. The operating mechanism for the ABC extinguisher is similar to that of a water extinguisher, although the technique for its effective use on a fire of this size is very critical. Let's see how critical, this time more slowly. With a flammable liquid fire, it is particularly important how you approach and aim the extinguisher. The maximum range for a dry chemical extinguisher is 12 to 20 feet, much shorter than for the water extinguisher. After pulling the pin, aim at the base of the fire and squeeze the lever. Sweep the extinguisher from side to side, starting at the front edge of the fire. The discharge will last from 8 to 25 seconds, depending on the size of the extinguisher. The ABC extinguisher blankets the fuel and interrupts the chemical chain reaction at the fuel surface. Once the fire is out, continue blanketing the fuel to prevent the fire from flashing up again. Class C fires involve energized electrical equipment. This poses special problems because of the dangers of electrical shock while fighting the fire. Extinguishing agents must be non-conductive, so you should not use water on a fire in or around live electrical equipment. A common extinguisher used on live electrical fires is the combination BC carbon dioxide, or CO2 extinguisher, easily identified by the cone. To use a carbon dioxide extinguisher effectively, it is necessary to get even closer to the fire than you would with other types of extinguishers, 3 to 8 feet. This is because the carbon dioxide is released as a gas and readily dissipates. As with other extinguishers, the most effective technique is to sweep the extinguisher side to side, starting at the front edge of the fire and aiming at its base. The carbon dioxide blankets the fuel, restricting the free access of oxygen. In effect, it smothers the fire. When extinguishers are used properly, firefighting can be made to look easy. But don't be fooled. Using an extinguisher safely and effectively is easy only if you understand certain basic things. Most important, never fight the fire if it's too big or spread out. The effectiveness of a fire extinguisher is limited by its size and range, and your ability to approach the fire. In addition to the problem of extreme heat, most fires produce toxic gases, which, in an enclosed space, can overcome you. If you choose to use the extinguisher, be careful how you approach the fire. Watch your hair and clothing. The flames can turn suddenly, and the force of the extinguisher can actually spread the fuel. Be sure the extinguisher is fully charged and working properly. In order to ensure the effectiveness of an extinguisher, you must be able to deliver a sustained and concentrated supply of extinguishing agent to the base of the fire. Neither a partially charged nor a casually aimed extinguisher can do this. Don't tilt the extinguisher. Some older types of extinguishers have to be inverted to activate, but newer extinguishers, particularly the dry chemical type, stop releasing extinguishing agent when tilted or turned upside down. And finally, remember, fire extinguishers work only if you find them and use them effectively while the fire is still small. The time wasted in hunting for an extinguisher and learning how to operate it can mean the difference between a small fire incident and a catastrophe. Despite their limitations, fire extinguishers can be effective in putting out small fires when handled properly. Familiarize yourself with the location and operation of extinguishers before an emergency. Take the time to read the label. Examine nearby fire hazards. In the event of an emergency, remember that the fire extinguisher is not a substitute for calling the fire department. Sound the alarm, and if possible, evacuate the premises before attempting to use a fire extinguisher.
I would say they should learn how to use it, they should read the directions, they should keep it in good shape, and they should only use it if they know that if they fail within the first few seconds, they can get out.